The way Uber and Lyft have designed these apps, they're literally putting the drivers against the riders, right? They're putting us into situations where the rider will find every creative way to get their money back, right? And we have to constantly protect ourselves and be on the defense, really, after all these allegations that come at us from the riders. That's not the way it should be, but it's the way that Uber and Lyft have literally pitted these two sides against each other with the apps. Now, the riders are pissed because of their supersonic high rates. You know, a lot of that blame goes directly onto the driver, and they're not prepared to pay those high rates, so they will find every single way to get back at you or get their money back from the company. That always puts us in a tough spot, and way too often it's resulting in wrongful deactivations, wrongful terminations. So I'm going to show you a couple of scenarios. And by the way, anytime you can, if you get into a little bit of a quarrel about a mask, right, I'm telling you, you have trouble coming your way. Make sure in a very discreet fashion you can maybe film those passengers or those individuals so you have the proof on the phone, right? Maybe when they're getting out the car, you can show, oh, they were not wearing masks, right? Because that information is going to come back to bite you. They are going to fabricate all these crazy stories to put you into a situation, to get back at you, to get their money back from Uber, and then have you fight over your wrongful deactivation. So I always say, in the most sort of sneaky fashion, get them on camera without them seeing it, right? And this goes for multiple different scenarios. So I'm going to run a couple of scenarios by you, how you can prepare yourself. And of course, a dash cam is fantastic, right? But a dash cam doesn't always catch all of these scenarios, right? So here they say, hey, John, we were notified by a rider that you accepted a cash payment on a recent trip, right? So the rider knows, oh, if the driver takes cash from me, you know, I can put them in a dangerous situation and maybe get my money back. So the way this driver then responded, right, he wrote, I don't take cash from any customers because I need all my money transactions through the app for taxes. Now, if the passenger does not have a mask and they need one, then yes, they can buy one from me for $1. Now, since you don't provide masks to provide to the passenger that does not have one, and I buy these masks of 50 out of my own pocket, tell me how that goes against company policy. Please respond. So the driver knows that he sold this individual a mask because they didn't have a mask. Of course, he has the right to charge for that because he is paying for those masks, right? It's about $33 with tax at CVS. I buy them constantly, 50 masks at a time. And asking $1 for a mask is not much money. It's a very reasonable request made by this driver. How does the rider play it? Oh, he took money from me, right? Knowing that, hey, I can get this guy into trouble, shouldn't have charged me, should have given it to me for free, and maybe they're going to waive my fare. They will try anything. This is how cheap they are. This is how the system puts drivers against riders, riders against drivers, right? You constantly have to be proactive as a driver to outsmart the system and take precautions. So in this case, you know, get it on the camera. You see the guy coming towards the car, doesn't have a mask. Try and get him on the camera, right? Because whatever is going to follow from that moment onwards is going to be an issue. You're going to get into some sort of quarrel. They're getting into your car without a mask. Quietly and discreetly get a video of that so you have the proof, right? Then you can also say, hey, afterwards, you can make another video. By the way, I gave the rider a mask for $1. You timestamp it, right? You can email that video to yourself. If you have a Gmail, you email that evidence to yourself. It's timestamped. All of this evidence at the end of the day, folks, may get you out of the situation of a wrongful termination, right? Uber and Lyft will always side with the rider. The rider is paying the company the money. The driver can be replaced. Remember that. So evidence here is crucial, and you got to do it super, super discreetly. Another type of scenario, right? You have a large group of people. In this case, there were 8 people. So I got this pickup, and it was 15 minutes away. Passenger tells me to call her. I call her. She doesn't answer. She sends me another message saying that she has 8 people with her and tells me to cancel. I drive a Toyota Prius, so obviously I can't fit 8 people in my car, right? Now, you're already getting into this back and forth. You know you have a problem. If you're there at the scene and you see multiple people, quickly get a 5-10 second clip and email it to yourself. So you have backup proof that there were multiple people trying to get into your car. This rider, how do they handle it? Come, I'm going to make my boyfriend and his friends beat your ass since you want to play with my money. I told you cancel, right? So here they have 8 people. They know they're wrong, right? They know they are wrong. They know that you are not going to take 8 people. But they want to engage with you. They want to cause trouble. They want to make your life difficult. And they want to get you deactivated. You have to be one step ahead of them. I want to show you another scenario, right? So here, this is Jeremy from the Lyft safety team. I hope you're doing well. I'm following up on some feedback we received from a member of our community. Telling you, it's a member who wants a free trip, right? Specifically regarding some concerned behavior during one of our recent Lyft rides. One of the most commonly used excuses for a rider to get their money back and to get you into trouble is this one. Safety is our top priority here, and we take matters very seriously. The report alleges that you were under the influence of driving, right? So maybe at the beginning of every shift, right? Maybe just one video, which you immediately email to you. Hey, this is Torsten reporting to duty. As you can see, I'm fully coherent, blah, blah, blah. That's it, right? So that the video shows you are not intoxicated, you don't have bloodshot eyes, you're not slurring your words, right? But you're fully in control before starting your shift. Boom, 10-second video. I email it to myself, time stamped. So if some shit like this happens, you have the backup, right? You always have to be one step ahead, especially over the mask issue, especially over false allegations when they say, oh, you were smoking, you were high, or you're under the influence. A very, very common one, right? They say, oh, took cash from me, right, over the mask issue. They will always try to get back at you. They will always try to get a free ride. It's just the way the app is designed to put both these parties against each other, right? This is sadly deteriorated into a very, very toxic culture where riders think they can get a freebie and where drivers have to really be on the ball and protect their ass so that you, may you be a he or a she, doesn't get fired. So quick little videos, send them to yourself at the beginning of the shift. I'm reporting to duty, 100% coherent, fully in control, no alcohol, no smoking. And they can see that by the tone, by the demeanor, by the way you film yourself, you are good to go. There it is. Boom, you send it to yourself. Masks. I have a couple of people approaching the car, they don't have masks. This is going to be an issue. You film it, boom. Put it off, right? So if there is a complaint afterwards, you filmed it prior. Or you filmed it after they got out, right? Because they refused to, you stopped the ride and you kicked them out. They didn't have masks. They were leaving the car and you quickly filmed them, right? So please be proactive. Use the camera, the video functionality of your phone. Get quick 5, 10, 15, 20-second videos if you can. Email them to yourselves and, combat these wrongful deactivations, combat these lying riders that try to get a freebie and that try to get you into trouble. Now, do share other scenarios with me that you could have possibly have filmed, that had you taken the footage or taken the time to quietly, discreetly video these people, you would have maybe saved yourself from a wrongful deact. I want to hear every type of possible situation. Why? So we can prepare newbies and vets, right? Even if you're a veteran, doesn't mean you know it all. Doesn't mean you're prepared for every type of scenario. By sharing these different types of scenarios, we can be proactive with our cameras, right? And maybe stop a wrongful deactivation in its tracks. Have a good night, my friends. I hope we learned something from this video. I'm using a lot of the feedback that I'm getting from people, and I'm trying to find the most creative ways to cover your back. Have a good one.